Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 7th, 2025 Board of Supervisors evening meeting. Our first item of business tonight will be a citizens forum. During the citizens forum, anyone that wishes to speak can come up and speak for 3 minutes on any topic that is not on the agenda this evening. Before we open the forum, I'd like to read our code of conduct. All meetings and work sessions shall be conducted by all participants with the observance of fundamental rules of civility, including restraint in demeanor and respect for others and their views. Shouting, profanity, threats, personal attacks, and other similar actions are unacceptable. Should the chairman determine that a participant is likely to or has violated the foregoing conduct guidelines, the chairman may take appropriate action. And with that, we will open up our citizens forum. Is there anyone that would like to come forward and speak? Come on up. Please tell us your name and magisterial district.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair, Board, and community members. My name is Josephine Gilbert, and I live in Fauquier County. I'm here to talk to you about the PATH Foundation. The PATH Foundation was formed in 2013 as a joint venture between Fauquier Health and LifePoint Hospitals. Its mission was to serve the people of Fauquier, Rappahannock, and Culpeper by funding programs that improve health and well-being. But PATH has drifted from that mission. Around 2017-2018, they spent about $20,000 to bring Pedro Noguera, a national equity activist, into Fauquier Public Schools to promote equity initiatives. This was the first clear indication of their willingness to fund ideological programs rather than community health and wellness. By 2020's programming leaned heavily towards DI initiatives. They accelerated in 2021 by accepting $15 million from billionaire Mackenzie Scott, whose philanthropy prioritizes racial equity, gender justice, and systemic change. Going forward, local grant banking is increasingly tied to this destructive ideology while marketed as capacity building. These programs are rooted in progressive ideology, not the needs of our largely conservative rural communities. In fact, PATH sponsored a new white supremacy workshop through the Center for Nonprofit Excellence last month, right in my Warrenton community, and I provided, and for the benefit of the community, the screenshot of the training. I'll not just read, Collective Healing, Breaking the Cycle of White Supremacy, a 3-part series exploring how to disrupt harm and foster organizational healing and equity. The superintendent connection is of particular concern who brought deep equity. By the way, that's Fauquier County Schools superintendent. Now sits on the PATH Foundation board. This creates a direct pipeline between progressive educational ideology and PATH's funding priorities. Having the same superintendent influencing PATH community investments raises red flags about accountability and priorities. In addition, other organizations are not in the 3 counties of the original mandate. For example, CNE, the Center for Nonprofit Excellence, is in Charlottesville. I am meeting with my county chair in Fauquier County and try to get a copy of this 2013 agreement. I urge you to have your county attorney do the same thing and review it. You want to make sure that they're abiding by the agreement, right? I'm not sure how much money you guys get, as well as your school system. But again, for the benefit of the community, the financials are problematic. This information came directly from their website, which is minimal, but these are actual numbers. And basically what I think is kind of interesting is in 2020 is when they had their highest community giving. That's what they call it. But they had assets of $251 million, about $2 million in liabilities, but a net asset of $249 million. We move forward. They're now up to $288 million. The numbers are scary. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to come and speak? Mr. Haight, come on up.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board, Don Haight Jr., Stevensburg. Buy fresh, buy local, support Culpeper Farms. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please pray for those for full recovery. Election Day is 4 weeks away from today. I urge everyone to vote. It is extremely important to vote because our election officials are changing rules and regulations that affect us all day, every day. Your vote counts, and your voice must be heard loud and clear. Elect those who will make decisions to make Culpeper better for everyone, not just a few. We will no longer elect those who won't answer our phone calls. We will no longer elect those who think they know what's best for us much more than we know for ourselves. We will no longer elect those who won't answer our emails. We will no longer elect those who think they are better than us. We will no longer elect those who want to take advantage of us. We will no longer elect those who want to take our rights away. We will no longer elect those who don't host town hall meetings. We need to be informed. We will no longer elect those who won't listen to us. We will no longer elect those who don't value our opinion. Enough is enough, and we have had enough. These are words from the community, not just me. It's time for a change. Change is coming. We need supervisors that will work with us and not against us. It's time that we have a representative that respects us, one with integrity, one well-respected in the community, one that has the community behind him 100%. We need representatives that are born here with deep roots here and love Culpeper County, not those who want to take advantage and take our rights away. Hear our voices loud and clear. Farmland preservation, fiscal responsibility, and no new residential rezoning. And most important, government transparency. Please vote for Dwayne Payne Jr. for Stevensburg Board of Supervisor, November the 4th. May God can continue to bless Culpeper, and I am Donald Hay Jr., and I'm here to stay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Would you like the microphone and to sit down, Francis? Because we'll bring you the mic. Okay.
I gave up going to my granddaughter's softball game to get here. I'm Francis Updike, Cedar Mountain District. I have not been here for a few times. I've got back issues and pinched nerves in my neck. Otherwise, you name it. I don't want to bore you with it, but it's not fun. I did too much last weekend. I thought I was going to mend, and my back and my neck told me who was boss. So I won't be here long. I'm not going to take much of your time. I've talked with you guys many times, and you know what my pet project is? Get the road built for A.G. Richardson and Pearl Sample. I can't get an answer. You guys have an answer now. I don't know whether John Bennett's working on it for you or not. I think he's doing the work because we switched attorneys and John was handling it. All I want somebody to do is pull the trigger. We had, I think y'all passed a resolution in May to go through condemnation if you had to. It just keeps dragging. You guys do, I sat here this morning in the other meetings. You bring up a subject, bang, 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 a little discussion, pass, move on. But I don't know what happened to this one. We can't get it done. It's been too long. I've been working with you guys, bugging you, sorry, for 3 years. This is 3 years since I've been here showing up at the school project. It's going to be too late when somebody gets hurt. And I'll leave it at that. But I don't see why it takes this long. If you have to use condemnation, do it. Let's get on with the program. Too many children and adults are at risk at those two schools without having an ingress, egress. So if y'all need to tell John to pull the trigger, do it. If you don't, then let us know something. I talked with several of you this morning and said, well, we're close. Close is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades. And I think that's what we're playing with for these children's lives out there. I have 2 grandchildren out there. And not just for me, but it's all the children. I talk to the teachers. And I'm not going to prolong this, but all we got to do, unless somebody tells me something different, is pull the trigger, get it going. Say, okay, here's it. I want to see it. I'd love to see a signed agreement, a date, and closing, and move on, because then you still got to go through the engineering and all of that work. We're still a long ways away from getting a road in there. So thank you very much. I hope I don't have to come back and bug you again next month, but I don't mind if I have to. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come and speak? Anyone else? Okay, we will close the citizens forum. We have an agenda before us. Are there any additions or deletions? Hearing none, we will move forward as presented. First item of business is general county business. The Board of Supervisors will receive public comment regarding the consideration of the potential approval of an uncodified ordinance for tax exempt status by the designation for Playdate Incorporated. This was approved at the last month's board meeting, and the public hearing is being held tonight. Is there anyone that would like to speak on this? Okay, hearing none, we will close the public hearing. And I don't believe there is any action that. Okay, we need a motion to approve the uncodified ordinance.
I move to approve the uncodified ordinance for tax exemption status for Playdate Inc.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We're going to move on to Planning Commission business. Case number U2250-24-1 has been withdrawn. Move on to item 5.02, case number U-225725-1. Mr. Drummiller, I'll turn that over to you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll introduce the case by reading the letter from the Planning Commission. Dear Chairman Dewar, the Board of Supervisors will consider a request by Summit IG, care of Jason Kaufman, for a conditional use permit to allow the construction and operation of a fiber utility generation station per section 61C-2-6, Public Utilities/Utilities, in accordance with Article 17, Conditional Use Permits of the zoning ordinance. The property is zoned CS, Commercial Services, and is located off Enterprise Way in the Stevensburg Magisterial District. It's found on Tax Map 41, Parcel 111G. The Board of Supervisors, in addition to making the determination as to the approval or disapproval of the use permit, shall consider, review, and make findings whether the general location, approximate location, character, and extent of the proposed fiber utility generation station is in substantial accord with the county's current adopted comprehensive plan or part thereof in accordance with the Code of Virginia, 1950 as amended, Section 15.22232. Case was considered by the Planning Commission after proper advertising and public hearing held on Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. The Planning Commission made the finding affirming that the general location, approximate location of the fiber utility generation station are in substantial accord with the county's adopted comprehensive plan or part thereof in accordance with the Code of Virginia as amended 15.22232. Furthermore, the Planning Commission found the request to be in conformance with Article 61C-2-6 and Article 17 of the zoning ordinance. Upon motion that was duly carried, the Planning Commission recommends to the Board of Supervisors by a 6-to-1 vote that the proposed use permit be approved with the following conditions. Number 1, future development on Tax Map 41 111G shall be in general conformance with the tendered concept plan dated November 13th, 2024 by Andrew P. Miller, professional engineer. Number 2, prior to site plan approval, an infrastructure performance agreement and appropriate surety in accordance with the current Culpeper County performance guarantee policy shall be posted and accepted for the completion of the remaining roadway improvements necessary to ensure that Enterprise Way is brought up to current VDOT standards and formally accepted into the VDOT state highway system. And number 3, the facility shall be limited to no more than 2 equipment shelters. Sincerely, Sanford Reeves, Jr. Mr. Chairman, on the boards there, you can see that the map made by Ms. Schiermeyer here, the case map, the highlighted in dark red is the subject parcel. It's flanked on either side by neighbors that are in support of this conditional use permit. And as I said in the memorandum, staff can identify no immediate negative impacts to the neighborhood. There's no public utilities being proposed. Limited traffic will be realized after construction. And the applicant has indicated that they do agree with the conditions to bring the road that is now private up to state standards. I do want to mention that the Planning Commission wanted to limit the compound to 2 shelters. The applicant may wish to amend that last condition. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I can take any questions that you might have or turn it over to the capable applicant. It's been a pleasure to work with.
Are there any questions?
Yes. Why did the planning commission want to limit it to 2?
I'm not entirely sure about that, Mr. Underwood. I guess I couldn't tell you. I mean, my suggestion, it would be not to expand the compound past the building restriction limits for the area. But that was their recommendation. They were worried about a proliferation of the use.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? Would the applicant like to make some comments?
All right. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Connor O'Donnell. I'm a planner with Gentry Lock Attorneys. I'm here with the applicant, Summit IG. This is Steve Ragland. He is the COO. He'll be able to answer any of the business-related questions you all may have. So we're here to permit a fiber regeneration utility hut. This is very similar to the fiber hut that you all permitted, approved back in April, approximately in the same district in ag zoned land. So just a refresher on these fiber huts. They're newish. I understand that the previous one was the first. So the fiber optic signals generally weaken and degrade over distance. So regeneration hut is where the signal is boosted. And these huts are located approximately every 50 to 80 miles along the fiber lines. So who is this serving? Summit IG is end user neutral. So the fiber hut is open access to whatever client would be willing to pay for the service. Could be local business, school, healthcare, government, service providers. For example, VDOT is an active client and they will be leasing space in this facility. And again, while this infrastructure could be used for data centers, again, to highlight, it's end user neutral. Anyone who's willing to work with Summit IG to come up with a contract lease, they're able to use their services. This map here is to give you a little bit of an idea of that 50 to 80 mile range. So this blue line is fiber that Summit has in the ground currently. So Summit IG owns and operates their own fiber. And so they've got a loop going through here with different fiber huts, approximately 50 to 80 miles. And so we're filling in the gap over here. If you were down 522 the last few months, that fiber that was being run there, if you were held up in traffic, that is Summit IG has fiber running through up 522 and coming up through Culpeper on its way north. Again, coming to the adjacent property owners and Enterprise Way. Let's see, so we have one neighbor, Roosters Restoration currently. There's an undeveloped property to the east, and Enterprise Way is a private road currently with public access deeded. Just for a visual off Route 66, this is the entrance. This is Schul's home. And these tree lines would be the undeveloped property. And so you can't quite see the Summit IG property from here. You can see that there's water here. It does go all the way down to the end of the cul-de-sac. And this is from this past winter, end of the cul-de-sac, driveway to Roosters, and then this is the property itself, slightly located up on a hill. Overview of the site plan here. So this is essentially almost exactly similar to what you all saw in the previous fiber hut. It's a 100 by 100 fenced compound on a gravel lot. We have 2 buildings here. I'll come back to that condition at the end. There's about a 130-foot buffer between the rear of the property, 172 to the main road, 20 to one side, 32 feet to the other. Just a zoomed up close version for you all. Stormwater pond that exists here that will likely need to be upgraded. It's been a bit ignored over the last few years, but it does exist today. And just an example picture of what these fiber huts look like. This hut specifically will have a diesel backup generator, not propane. And I want to back up to just talk quickly about the conditions. So again, condition number 2 speaks about upgrading Enterprise Way. So there are some old proffers associated with these parcels, and Enterprise Way needs to be, our understanding right now is resurfaced before it can be accepted into the VDOT secondary road system. So that's something the applicant is willing to do. So that's included in the conditions. And again, that's completing, the reason we're doing that is completing an outstanding proffer that's associated with these parcels. And then to come to the third condition. So the reason, to answer your question, why the Planning Commission limited it to 2 is that when we were applying, working with the applicant, putting the application together, just discussing what their current intentions are. Their current intentions are to put 1 of these buildings and maybe in the near future 2. And so that's what we described in the application. And one of the members of the Planning Commission suggested just then, if that's all we wanted for the near term, then let's limit it to 2. We would just like a little bit of flexibility, if possible, to go up to 3. For comparison, the other fiber hut had 6 on 100 by 100. If you want to go up to 6, that's great too. Similar 100 by 100 in the ag district, same size, same setup. So we asked him for 3 just because it's slightly more. Mr. Ragland here has said that would maybe be something that in possibly 15 years down the road, you need that 3rd building. So open to expanding it to 3 if to match with the other fiber hub at 6, or just changing the condition to match the other cup that came through in April that just says don't expand the compound. Open to any of those solutions. And I'll leave it here for questions. Again, Mr. Ragland will be able to answer any of the more specific fiber business related questions you all may have.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Lee.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the presentation. How often are the diesel, the backup generators operated? And is that kind of a monthly thing? And how long does that happen?
We currently run ours every Monday morning, usually between 9 and 10 for 30 minutes without load, but we can program those whenever. If the county says run them once a month, we run them once a month, but typically once a week without a load for 20 minutes. That's just to make sure it's operational.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Thank
Other
you.
questions?
Yes, so I have a few. I know we've talked, and one of the biggest things is this is now number 2 that we've come to see. And the biggest question that's going to be on everybody's mind, okay, then who's next and who's next? And so what sets you guys apart from the network hub that is down on 522 to this ring that you guys have created from close to DC to Richmond?
Yeah, good question. I listened to the last hearing, and I would say that we're more open-ended. We make our fiber available, a lot more available to others. You mentioned VDOT earlier. VDOT is, we have a resource sharing with VDOT that when we build, we give them fiber as well. So companies like VDOT, school system stuff benefit from us coming through. What sets us apart is, again, we're more open-ended and we can tell you who our end users are. I don't know if they were as open on your last hearing to be able to tell you that. So.
Could you speak to as well, just like how many of these may come along?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, there's Verizons of the world, there's AT&T of the world. It really depends on their plans and where they're going to. I don't see a lot. I know because we're putting an investment to put a pretty big, large backbone through the county from Richmond to Northern Virginia. They're going to come to us first before they spend the money to put the construction in the ground. I can't answer what other companies' plans are, though. But I don't foresee a need for a lot of these.
And so you mentioned another good thing. Everybody is sick of the one-way traffic going up and down 522 and other areas of all this fiber installation. You guys are putting in way more conduit than what you need for the current consumer base. So what is your projection on, first of all, how many conduits are there? How many are you actually using? And what's your projection on when those will get filled?
Right, good question. So our standard when we go to build, because we only want to dig once. I don't want to have to come back, 5 years and redo all the roads and all that stuff. So typically we put 6 conduits in the ground for our own use. We populate conduit number 1 with an 864 count fiber day 1. So that's 864 fibers day 1. Sounds like a lot, but it goes by quick. So that leaves us 5 empty conduits to grow. On average, I can use I-95 as an example. We did the same thing out there. That first cable lasted about 8 years before we had to come run a new cable. The good news about having the extra conduit in the ground is it's not as invasive. So all we're doing is blowing cable through it next go around. So, and I do apologize about the traffic on 522. I live in Powhatan, so driving through there coming this way is, yes, I understand. Any other questions?
Gotcha. And have you officially gotten written letters from the 2 adjacent property owners for the road improvements and all of that for that second condition?
Yes, so we're working with them. We have letters of support from them. We're trying to figure out, so Summit has committed to doing the road improvements. We're in the process of writing up a kind of road sharing agreement that doesn't exist. We presume that all 3 neighbors own this road. There's no good legal record. And so right now, both neighbors are amenable to a neighbor coming in and offering to do what hasn't been done the last 15 years. And so we will likely be before you next month or the month after with a rezoning case to clean up those proffers. I hope to have those neighbors here in person too, just to show their support. But yes, right now that's moving forward smoothly. And in the interim period between now and the rezoning, we'll work to get the infrastructure performance agreement together, as well as post surety for the road. And again, so staggering that so that by the time we come with the rezoning, which the rezoning, I use that word, but it's just a proffer amendment. We're not changing the zoning, trying to update the proffers. So when we come before you, hopefully we've checked all the boxes. We have the agreement, we have the surety, the neighbors are here, everyone's in line. Okay. So today, just moving forward the use, and then in a few months coming and cleaning up the legal part of it, but committing to the road improvements today.
Okay, and then the stormwater pond, the retention pond that's here, were you guys able to contact DEQ and find out any additional information of whatever stormwater management plan
Haven't
that's
found
under?
any additional information, and again, no records of maintenance agreements because it does cross parcel boundaries. And so that's going to be another thing that haven't found anything that shows any detail. So as part of the site plan process, and likely before, we'll engage with that neighbor to finalize some type of shared BMP maintenance agreement and then record it with the circuit court.
Okay. And is there going to be any issues possibly with any of the updated regulations from 15 years ago? Is this retention pond still going to be sufficient for now 2 developed parcels? Or are you guys going to have to completely go through a stormwater management plan?
Unknown at the
Okay.
time of site plan. So this hasn't been engineered yet. At site plan, we'll have to do that engineering and see what the capacity is. So, this will be a gravel lot, so that is classified as impervious. So it will be a fairly large increase of stormwater. But the pond, I've driven by there twice now. It's pretty large, and if it needs to be expanded as part of this, as part of the site plan, there's definitely room to be able to do that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Is there a motion? Oh, public hearing, excuse me. Thank you very much. We will now open the public hearing on this matter. Is there anyone that would like to come forward and speak? Mr. Haight.
Good evening. Once again, this will be real quick. If my memory serves me correctly, I think the Planning Commission had the same concern about a letter of from the neighbors. And a month later, they still don't have a written agreement from the neighbors. So my suggestion would be to not move forward until the neighbors are all in compliance. And if they don't have that, then you table it until they're in compliance. I don't believe in buying a peek and a poke. Doesn't make sense to approve it and then expect for them to give you something later. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to come forward? We will close the public hearing. Is there any further discussion?
So the question, could the applicant please clarify the letters of intent you guys have received from all neighbors?
Yes, and again, that's for the road. This is something kind of secondarily to, we have our use, and we've spoken with the planning department to figure out these old proffers. And so instead of leaving the road improvements into the proffers, we're just moving it to the cup so that it's all on Summit. So there's nothing that the neighbors have to agree to. It is more just that there's an unknown question about who owns this road. All three neighbors who presumably own the road are all on board with okay, let's get this done. But there's not necessarily, we don't need anything from the neighbors. It's better that we come in front of you and I don't have one neighbor saying they're totally against this. They're not going to let us. It's not that. It's just formalizing the agreements that don't exist, but nothing is outstanding on any type of agreement with the neighbor. Does that clarify?
Supervisor Deal.
Is staff seen the letters?
Yes, Chairman Deal, I have, and I can confirm that they are in concurrence with this conditional use and what's been put forth in my reading of them.
Any other questions? Further discussion?
Relative to further discussion, I'm, of course, going to lean to a motion that'll likely be made by the member of the district where this lies. That said, I'd like to see at least 3 just for the sake of efficiency. I don't see the damage when looking at it. We did do 6 a month ago, and I do not see how it would be worth the administrative effort to go from 2 to 3 within any reasonable period of time. So if possible, I would love to see 3.
Further discussion? Is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve case number U2257-25-1 with the conditions that the Planning Commission brought forward with the adjustment of going from 2 to 3 structures within the outlined area.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? Call the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is the renewal of the Crooked Run Agricultural and Forestal District. Mr. Drummiller.
Yes, Mr. Doer. Dear Chairman Doer, on September 10th, 2025, the Planning Commission reviewed the Crooked Run Agricultural and Forestal District, which would expire in 2025 in accordance with the procedures as depicted in Article 8E agricultural and forestal districts of the zoning ordinance. The Planning Commission was advised that due to the legally permissible voluntary withdrawal requests submitted during the renewal phase, the district would no longer meet the 200-acre minimum core area requirement as found in Article 8E, Section 8E9-1 of the zoning ordinance. The Planning Commission hereby recommends to the Board of Supervisors that the Crooked Run Agricultural and Forestal District currently under review be terminated. Sincerely, Sanford Reeves. And I can just add that, I can share that no one has come forth to join this district since that time. And this is largely a ministerial action by the board. And one more little factoid, there's 41,564 acres currently across the county in ag forestal, so I think the program is still strong.
Thank you. Is there any questions? Are there any questions? Supervisor Underwood.
I'm wondering, why do we need to terminate it if it isn't going to be renewed?
It's just a code housekeeping thing, Mr. Underwood, I believe. I mean,
I'm kind of serious. I mean, like if it's 8 years and we do it 8 years, and let's just say that the board did nothing, what happens to the property owners? What happens?
I believe that's a legal question, Mr. Underwood. I'm just trying to cross my T's in terms of bringing it before you.
I'm not trying to bring advanced legal questions before us this evening, so I will defer and do my education, and I'll make if we need a motion to terminate, I'll make a motion that we terminate.
We will need a motion.
Oh, we got to hold a public hearing first. Do we, to terminate?
I don't believe we do,
Okay.
but we do have some clarification that may be coming your way. Mr. McLaren.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to pass a legal opinion. That's not my role here, but I will share just from the ordinance. You have Article 80, which is what we follow for the Ag and Forestal District. And effectively, the answer to Supervisor Underwood's question is I don't think there's any difference, But to follow the ordinance that you all have in front of you, I would recommend that you go through this process because it does say following the review of any district, the board may by ordinance continue, modify, or terminate the district. In this particular case, it came through review period. There was a voluntary withdrawal, which as Neil mentioned, they're able to do through this process. To clean it up, to do away with the district, in my opinion, it would be best to terminate it, but effectively, if you did nothing, it's still terminated, so.
I don't want to argue. I'll make the motion. Please terminate it.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
No, because we're not renewing it.
There's not a need for a public hearing. We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion?
Just like to say, I hate to see it happen, Mr. Chairman.
Uh,
Somebody would come back and form this back together.
I'm doing it purely ministerial, not as a comment relative to the value of the ag forestry.
I understand, and the Ag and Forestal Committee is working on some programs to try to increase the awareness and possible increase the participation in these districts.
I've offered suggestions. I've offered how I think we could expand it.
I appreciate that. So we have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. That completes our business on the agenda. Unless there is any other business, we are adjourned.